And it looked like Caitlin Clark has suffered yet another hard foul, and the referees failed to make a call.
Caitlin Clark got hit hard on live TV. It looked more like a WWE fight than a WNBA game. And once again, the referees did nothing, like they were asleep. You'd expect a professional league to protect one of its biggest stars, but nope. Either the refs are huge Atlanta Dream fans, or they seriously need their eyes checked. This wasn't just basketball, it felt like an action movie. And somehow, Clark ended up being the villain, the victim, and the hero all at once. If you didn't see what happened in Atlanta, consider yourself lucky. Clark sure won't forget it.
The biggest hurdles for Caitlin Clark at Indiana Fever last season was the WNBA referees. Now, the front office made it their business to revamp the team, bring in more aggressive players to help them get further in the WNBA season and possibly win a WNBA championship. But before any of that stuff could even get done, we have to take a look at the misguided missile that can destroy everything this upcoming season, and that is the WNBA referees and this secret agenda.
There was Caitlin Clark, doing what she does best, making amazing plays with moves so smooth they should be banned. She was just trying to do her job and dominate the Atlanta Dream. But somewhere along the way, it stopped looking like basketball and started looking like a wrestling match. What happened on that court was pure chaos, and the referees either didn't see it or just ignored it. What do you think about the refs? Let us know in the comments. Let's go.
Here and another case of WNBA referees dropping the ball, not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Bruh, how we one game away for the start of the season and we have already Caitlin Clark getting fouled extremely hard. Look back at the referee like, damn.
Picture this, Caitlin Clark comes into the game calm and confident, fresh off making crazy long shots like Steph Curry and throwing unbelievable passes. She's so good, even top defenders look like they're standing still. Naturally, the Atlanta Dream didn't like that. And the refs? They looked about as alert as a computer screen on sleep mode. No whistles, no warnings, like the only foul they'd call is someone sneezing too loud in the crowd. You have to ask, are the refs even watching the same game? Clark didn't just get bumped, she got launched. And the refs reacted like someone clocking out right before the weekend starts.
Oh, got it. And that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, bro. Like, at this point, watch this play, guys.
Looks like a flash of light that we saw from the jersey and going on the gym, was talking to the official about.
No call whatsoever. No call whatsoever. But they will call Caitlin Clark getting a technical. They will call Caitlin Clark getting a technical foul.
Clark drove into the paint, focused on the basket and ready to score an easy layup. Instead, she ran into a mess of flailing arms and chaos. But the referees didn't blow their whistles, they just stood there, like they were waiting for someone to bleed before calling a foul. Or maybe they were following a new rule, no fouls unless a player actually explodes.
How much of the jealousy of Clark is because the insane amount of publicity she gets? How much of the jealousy is because she gets so much money from endorsements? How much of it is because she's white? How much of it is because she's straight? I have no idea. And I have no idea what percentage of the women are jealous and to what degree. I can't get in their minds. I have no idea. I don't know if the black players are more jealous than the white players. They're all jealous. Well, I don't think all of them. Some of them, most of them seem to be. But all I know is that the refs, if the players are going to treat her, be physical with her, the refs have to protect her, not because she's Caitlin Clark, but because the fact that it's the right thing.
If this were just a casual YMCA game, where fouls don't always get called and a kid runs the scoreboard, maybe you'd let it go. But this is the WNBA. The crowd gasped, social media blew up, and the game continued like nothing happened. It was as if Clark tripped over her own skills, not like she got hit by 3 defenders at once. And this isn't just a one-time thing. It's been happening all season. Caitlin Clark is being treated like a crash test dummy out there. But even with all the chaos, she still did what she always does, she dominated.
When I say this, the Atlanta Dream, not quite Nate Tibbetts. If you guys know anything, like Nate Tibbetts, literally like, he would throw 17 different looks at Caitlin per quarter. He would throw a different look at Caitlin every single possession. However,
you could throw Caitlin Clark into a storm of dodgeballs and she'd still find a way to drain a deep 3. She kept the Fever's offense running smoothly, with passes so sharp they cut through defenders like a knife through doubt. This wasn't just basketball, it was pure art. She played with the mind of a genius and the style of a streetball star. Clark sees the game like a chess master, always thinking ahead, while defenders are stuck playing catch-up. Most players would have been shaken, but not Clark. Her only response was to tighten her ponytail and sink another 30-foot shot. And then come the stats, the one thing that doesn't lie. Even when the refs were nowhere to be found, Clark showed up. Her numbers were the kind that make coaches tear up with pride. She didn't just make it through, she shined. And she proved that no amount of missed calls could slow her down.
Indiana Fever fans, we got another W in the preseason against the Atlanta Dream, 81-76. There's a lot that went on in this game. So this was a very competitive game. All the way through, they were given full court defense on Caitlin Clark. For the most part of the game, the starters did sit after 3. Caitlin Clark finished with 13, 7, and 6. She could have had 12 to 15 assists. Wait until you see the highlights. She did drop a couple bombs. She hit 3 3-pointers.
So here's the real question. Why isn't anyone protecting the WNBA's biggest star? The answer might be sitting with the league's own leadership.
With the increased attention this year, there's also been increased scrutiny about the quality of refereeing. Curious if there has been any conversation about whether it's referee pay, referee training, anything to ensure that is as good as it can be.
Now let's talk about Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner. She stayed oddly quiet while Caitlin Clark keeps taking harder hits than anyone else in the league. You'd think the person in charge of growing the league would realize that letting your biggest star get knocked around without any calls isn't the best way to grow the game. But no, nothing but silence. And honestly, it's starting to feel like this isn't just bad refereeing. It feels intentional. Like there's a quiet, organized pushback against Clark's rapid rise. A refusal to admit she's changing the league for the better, whether they want her to or not. And clearly, they don't.
Obviously, not every, they're humans. Looking at technology, basketball is a little more complex than tennis, for instance, around technology of officiating. So we're looking at a variety of different dimensions.
It's like the league is quietly panicking that Caitlin Clark's rise is happening too fast and shining too bright. So the response seems to be, let her earn it the hard way. No special treatment, and apparently, no fair treatment either. Just elbows, bruises, and missed calls. But Clark isn't backing down. Every hit, every no call, every cheap shot just fuels her more. In a league that says it supports its stars, you'd expect better. You'd expect someone to take responsibility. But instead, all we're getting is silence, shrugs, and whistles that never blow.
But I know it's a passionate issue. Every fan group, I love when I go into market and every fan group I meet with, they usually wait and ask it as the last question of the night, but they do ask about officiating, which I appreciate the passion for that.
If the WNBA won't stand up for Caitlin Clark, the fans will. We're not just watching a player, we're watching a once-in-a-generation talent pushed to the limit by everything except the actual rules of basketball. And she's handling it all perfectly. So to the refs, the Atlanta Dream, and yes, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, this isn't just a game anymore. It's a spotlight, and it's shining bright on everything you're not doing.
If this would have been a regular season game, I believe Caitlin Clark very much flirts with a triple-double in this game. If this is a regular season game, because she was heading down that road, she only played 23 minutes.